Hello, I am Sophia. This week on Animore, it's Cat World. But before the kitty love, here is a few interesting facts about a cheetah.
A cheetah is a large cat that can be found in southern, north and east Africa. Cheetah is the fastest land animal in the world, capable of running up to 70 miles per hour due to its long, slender-legged body. Its spotted coat, small head and ears, and distinctive tear stripes from the corner of the eye down the sides of the nose make the cheetah highly recognizable among the large cats of Africa. The tear lines protect their eyes from the sun and allows them to see long distances. Female cheetahs mate with many different males and give birth in marshy areas where the grass grows tall. Their pregnancy period is 3 months. Sadly, this beautiful animal is threatened by loss of habitat and prey, as well as conflict with humans. As a result, the cheetah is classified as vulnerable on the IUCN Red List. And today, an estimated 9,000 to 12,000 cheetahs remain in Africa.
Now, did you know cats conserve energy by sleeping for about 14 hours a day? Kittens sleep a little bit more because they produce growth hormones only when sleeping. These cute little friends are kept home for many reasons: for companionship, to chase rats or other invaders, but are mostly admired because of their independence and cleanliness. That said, in some communities, cats have been neglected and left to roam in the streets. Some become sick, others even die. However, a few of them find home.
My name is Naomi Mutua. I grew up on a farm. My parents retired when I was quite young, and we had a big, huge farm, and anything and everything was allowed as a pet. So I had a pet cow, I had a pet goat, chicken, anything I could lay my hands on. And of course, there was a cat in the house and a dog in the house. So I grew up knowing that animals were to be treated well, and that in as much as you have working animals in the home or livestock, it's okay to have pets also. I had my first own cat. I had a cat called Sammy, who my friends also nicknamed Sofa Paka, because she was lazy and all she did was sit on the couch. We had her for 17 years, and she was a little day-old kitten that my neighbor's kids picked off the street and brought to us. And at some point, people noticed that I really love cats, I love being around cats, and someone gave me a second cat. So I had 2 cats. And soon enough, I started noticing there were too many stray cats around me, so I would feed them. And I started rehoming them, picking them up, rehabilitating them by giving them better food and care, getting them the necessary vaccinations, getting them neutered, and then finding them a suitable home. So that started off with just possibly 3 cats that someone brought to me. At one point, I believe I had about 7 cats in the house. I decided, now let's make this something, instead of me keeping all the cats, which I possibly couldn't at that time, let me rehome them but also let's try and get a group together of people where people can know what to do with their cats, educate them on how to take care of their cats, know what to do when their cats have an emergency, a medical emergency, and if you have found a stray cat, can we find a home? Or if you have to leave the country and you can't take your cat with you, can you rehome it? Some people come in new to the group, they want to keep a cat, they don't know what to do with a cat, and there's education processes that go on, from how to handle a kitten to it growing into an adult cat. But all in all, it's the fact that we can spread a bit more love about animals, that just because an animal looks dirty, looks beaten, looks sickly, doesn't mean it should be mistreated. If you meet a stray, it's just looking to survive, so you should be a bit kinder to it. If you have an animal, take the best care that you can of that pet, and if you can possibly take in a few more, there's many more that need homes out there. So this morning we're heading to the KSPCA, which is the Kenya Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals. It's a shelter that hosts rescue animals. We're having a volunteers day there with part of my cat-loving Kenyans, and we're going to help clean up the area, feed the animals, and hang out with them, and generally spread a bit more of love to the animals that live there. So we just come in. I wanted guys to get to understand what KSPCA does and to understand the kind of resources they have, because sometimes people want us to send cats to KSPCA and they don't have capacity, they don't have the resources. In other times, they don't have resources to come and pick up a cat from your area. So I wanted them to get to see what they exactly do, how many animals they handle, what capacity they actually have, and what conditions the animals live in, for them to grasp that we need to support KSPCA more, send less animals to the shelter as much as we can, and for the animals that are in the shelter, give them better conditions and essentially also bond with the animals. We managed to raise some money through the proceeds of the ticketing that we did, and we donated that money and some food that was donated by different brands, animal food that was donated to us. So giving back in kind and in cash, and also just spending time and seeing that there are so many animals, and not just cats, so many animals that are in need and that we need to speak more about and try and get more of them into homes. That was a good achievement.
Having animals, it teaches you kindness, it makes you selfless, and you look after something other than yourselves, and your interests, and you have to know when to feed it, when to clean it, if it gets injured, how to look after it, take it to the vets. I've grown up around animals, and I kind of know the importance of that to a child, and luckily my daughter has also kind of followed up on that.
I love the dogs, the cats. I love everything. I love all the animals and they're very cute.
There's a quote by, I believe, Mahatma Gandhi, where, to paraphrase, he said, you can tell a nation by how they treat their animals. So it's very easy to judge people's character by how they treat animals, and especially animals in need. It would mean that we are better people if animal welfare was at the peak. That's what I believe. We would just be a better people.
Naomi has 5 cats and all of them have very interesting names. On average, a cat can live for about 12 to 15 years. I know you're wondering, how can I take care of my cat for all these years? Don't worry, our Easy Tip guy has fresh ideas for you.
A clean cat is a happy cat. And here's how you can pamper your cat. Bathe your cat. Schedule baths when your cat is at her most mellow. Brush its fur to remove dirt, grease, and dead hair from her coat. Monitor your kitty's ear once per week for wax, debris, and infection. Check your cat's paws regularly for any cuts or sores. Also, ensure they are always kept clean. To trim nails, only snip the sharp tip of the nail, that is, the white part of the claw. Brush your cat's teeth using cat-formulated toothpaste. Please note, it is important to make grooming sessions as enjoyable as possible. So, provide lots of praise and treats for good behavior. If you find your cat is reluctant to take part in regular grooming, make an appointment with your vet or a professional groomer.
I sincerely hope you had a good time with us today. We enjoyed. In fact, I'm thinking about rehoming a cat. Let us know what you thought about today's show on our social media platforms. Till next week, I am Sophia Salim and this is Animore.
Most of the time we see animals as food, we see animals as working animals, but we don't see the sentient in animals, and communication is the bridge.
That was one of my best moments when I found that inbox like, can you join us in our Cheetah barazas? I was like, yeah, I've been making an impact and this organization has finally approached me.